What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Turbo today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It's been a little while. How long has it been since we talked about Turbo? Let's see. Turbo. It has been since March 8th, so it's been a little while. It's been not quite a month, but a good little bit of time there, about 3 weeks, right? Would that be right? March 8th. 20 days. Yeah, about 3 weeks. Anyways, a little bit over 3 weeks. We're at about 20196 right now, down about 43% on the month of March. Man, that is hectic. That is hectic. You definitely, you dropped through the floor here, saw some lower prices. You are just above areas where you would find resistance or prior resistance, therefore support, right? If you look at this, we put a line right here at the support zone. You're here where you found resistance before, but you're just above these areas. To me, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for you to stop here. Likely what you do see our price is all the way down at 0018, somewhere around there, right? If we take this relative high and we measure how low we've gone so far, you're down 86%. Man, you're going to complete the thought. You're going to see a 90% drop overall, Turbo, from your all-time high. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're like me and you think Turbo will see new all-time highs, that's actually really appetizing, because what that means is not, again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you think it's going to see new all-time highs, that basically certifies a 10x or more in growth. It's like a guarantee, but only, and it's not a guarantee, nothing's guaranteed, but only if you see the price going to new all-time highs. And I think Turbo will see new all-time highs. There's very few meme coins that I would put my money into, and Turbo is definitely one of them. I think this next bounce will be an immaculate recovery. Turbo is one of those more prominent coins of the cycle. It's only been listed on more exchanges, right? Coinbase, Bitfinex, Kraken, Capital.com, or I don't even know if that's an exchange. I don't know what some of these exchanges are. Binance is on Binance too, so OKX, Classic, right? Not all of these exchanges are significant, but there's all the big ones. It's got all the big names, man. Is it on KuCoin? Is it on KuCoin? How are you on every? Okay, I was about to say, how are you on every exchange but KuCoin, man? KuCoin's got like they got the lowdown, man. They always get those coins before a lot of exchanges get them. But anyways, I love KuCoin, man. I really do. I think it's a great exchange. Not a lot of liquidity compared to some exchanges, but I still think it's a great exchange. I trust KuCoin a lot. They've only given me reasons to trust them, never reasons to not trust them or be frustrated with them genuinely. But I digress. All I'm trying to say here is, at 0-0, and that's not me shilling them. I don't have a partnership with any exchange, and I definitely, even if I'm talking about an exchange, please don't leverage trade. You guys, don't leverage trade. Don't do it, because it's just you're setting yourself up for failure, especially if you're new. Okay, if you've been here for 5 years or more, if you've been doing this for a little while, and probably even more than that, honestly, for most of you, then maybe do your own thing, right? But at that point, you've probably learned your lesson the hard way. So just try to not, man. Just stay away from leverage trading. I don't like KuCoin because it allows leverage trading. I like KuCoin because it has a variety of options. Okay, but enough of that. That's not a shill. I wish they paid me to say that stuff. I could get paid to just say the stuff that I say anyways. But I would, if I ever get paid for stuff, I'll let you guys know. I've never been paid to say anything at this point. I don't plan on doing it anytime soon. I need to find the right partners if I'm gonna have a paid promotion. It has to be something that I believe in. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna say something to say it. But enough of that. Let's move on, man. Turbo. 0019,588 is the current price. Prospects to go down a little bit lower. How much of a drop would that be from the current price? Let's just see here. Hold on. Can I please just get it right there? Yeah, there we go. That would be about a 37% drop, bro. I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. That seems intense. That seems a bit intense, Turbo. If Bitcoin drops 14%, I have a hard time seeing you drop 37%, maybe 28% or so. Maybe you don't come down to the weekly closing highs. Maybe instead you come up to this wicking high. Maybe this weekly closing high, something like that. Okay, I could see that. So in that kind of aspect, would that be a 91% drop overall? That would be just about a 90% drop. Still, the 10x to new all-time highs would be realized if you bought down there. Let's see. I'm going to delete this here real quick. Delete that. We'll delete that. We'll leave this line up. Okay, and we'll take this line away. All right, let's draw some fibs. Let's see here. From a relative low to a relative high right here. We're not going to take the fake out high, but the actual high. 1272 looks to be respected. Yes, you are going lower, and oftentimes with the 1414, you do go just below it. What's just below it? prior wicking resistance, prior closing resistance. It makes sense to me, man. I think you're going to go to 2 zeros, 138. That's where you're going, Turbo. That's where the resolution of this terrible nightmare of a down move that you've had will come out. That's what you get, man, for listing on some of the top exchanges in crypto all at once. You're going to, of course, you're going to, all at this area, of course, you're going to get some selling pressure. Why is it bearish for an exchange to list? I hope you guys all understand why at this point, because now the biggest entities in the space have no reason to acquire you. They've already acquired you, right? Now, the average person has access to this. Generally, when the average person sees something and they buy, that's a good time to sell. Whenever the exchange stops buying, whenever they stop acquiring, that's buying pressure that goes away. That's interest that goes away from some of the largest institutions in crypto, and they are now effectively selling it to you, the retail investor. They're selling it to you. If you buy it from an exchange, and that's an easy concept to wrap your head around, then accept the fact that they are selling it to you. The exchange is selling it to you, right? Buying pressure evaporates from the biggest institutions. Selling pressure comes in from the biggest institutions. Of course, you're going to drop because not only did you list on Coinbase, not only did you list on Binance, not only did you list on Kraken, but you did all of that in the same damn area, right? Kraken might have been sooner. Let me see. Okay, Kraken was a little bit sooner in all fairness, but still at the all-time high areas nonetheless. It makes sense that you're dropping here, and then let alone crypto took a big dump, right? That also doesn't help. So I doubt you would have dropped this hard if it wasn't for crypto dropping as hard. But I don't know if anybody expected the past couple of months to be this bearish. Maybe. There's a lot of bears at the lows right now that are saying, "Oh, I knew it, I called it." And it's like, you weren't that loud when we were at the highs, man. You're being really loud now at the lows, though, and that's kind of how people are. Same thing in the bullish times, right? They might make their bullish calls here, but then they're the loudest about it here, and it might be like an uncertain call. They don't have conviction in it, right? Me, whenever I make my calls, I try to be convicted all the way through until I see invalidation. But who cares? All I'm trying to say is that we're probably going to go down to 00138, somewhere around there. That's my anticipation. That's my expectation. Just below 00152. Okay, just below there. Between there and 00135, 00152, 00135, somewhere in that area there, okay? It'll probably happen over the coming days. I think by the end of this week, we'll have recovery. This week might close red. It might, but I would think if it does close red, it's still going to have a decent wick. Like we're going to have a wick like this. Maybe it closes green, neutral, wick like this, whatever. I don't expect it to be a candle like this where we just kind of body the whole thing. If it is, the next week's going to be bullish, whatever. Weekly RSI looking pretty weak. Looking like it wants to dip into that oversold zone. Once you complete the thought and you get into the oversold zone, that'll be it, man. So maybe this week does close a little bit red. That would make sense to me. And then next week closes green. You dip into it, you rip out of it, and that sets you up for some phenomenal recovery, man. It really does. I think when it is time to go higher, you will see new all-time highs, Turbo. You definitely will. Or I shouldn't say definitely, but I assume that you will. I don't want to take the low because we don't know where the low is. I'm just going to put it at that wicking high, okay? Because that's a little bit higher than where I think it's going to go. So we'll put it there at that wicking high. The reason why I'm okay with this is because if we pull it down, you notice how the extensions, they only go higher. If I bring it up, they come down. So this will be, I think, a conservative target if Turbo drops down here. We'll likely see prices at anything from about 2.7 cents to 6 cents, somewhere in that zone, okay? Will this happen by the end of this next move? I'm not so sure. I do think that Turbo from its current price, we'll see like a 7.5x just to its all-time highs, let alone, it could go all the way up to 2.7 cents. I think by the end of May, by the end of June, yeah, we could see prices like that. That's phenomenal growth, don't get me wrong, but dude, you've been through it. You've been through the blender with this thing, man. Turbo, let's see here. 135 million. If you drop another 20% to 30% or so, that'll put you at $100 million. Man, I feel like I'm talking about Toshi. Toshi is one of the other meme coins that I would buy too. Toshi and Turbo, those both are I wouldn't invest in many meme coins right now, but those two are meme coins that I definitely am fond of. Decent volume here, $20 million at $135 million market cap. That's decent volume, even in these uncertain times, even in these boring times. Over the past 4 weeks, you've just been boring and you're still getting decent volume. That's nice to see. I very much expect that there's acquisition going on here. There will probably be more acquisition and capitulation down here. Capitulation means that the weak hands sell out. People who are desperate, they sell out, they panic sell. The smart money steps in and sends this thing to the moon. When this thing goes up, I very much believe you will see a multi-billion dollar market cap by the end of this next move, and that would equate to something of like a 2.7 cent price, which is about a 13x from here, from the current price, let alone from the lows, right? From the low, if it is to go lower, might be like an 18x or a 20x or something like that, and you might even see something more. Turbo, when it moves up, is very, very fast. I don't think that it's going to happen overnight. I don't think that it's going to be in a week, but over the weeks, over the months to come, by the end of June, I think you really could be at 2.7 cents to something that's around 4 cents when this move is all said and done. And this whole drop is going to feel like a bad dream. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. But if you get the itch to sell, you're selling at the worst possible time. Who knows if it goes down? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Who knows if it does? You're selling at the worst. What we do know is right now, this is the lowest price of this range so far. Horrible time to sell. Better idea is wait to buy. Wait to buy, or if you're already holding some, just hold, man. Hold. It's going to come back. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I think it's going to come back. It's not a dead coin. Look at the volume. Look at the volume, and we're in a 4-week period of just lull boringness, and you're seeing above 10% volume on a 24-hour period. Good job. And yesterday wasn't even that big of a deal either. It was a neutral day, so it's not like you had a big wick and then down. No, it's this is good. There's acquisition going on. There's interest here, even at these levels, and I think there will continue to be interest, especially as it goes up. Don't let this next move fake you out. I feel like that's the whole message of this day, man, is don't let this next move fake you out. We have lower to go. I expect it will happen this week. We will find the low, and then by the end of the week, going into the rest of April, going into the end of April, May, and June, it's going to be a hell of a good time, and we're all going to sing Kumbaya at new all-time highs. I got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. That, by the way, where I'm talking about by the end of May or June, that's not where I think the cycle high will be. I think we go much higher than that, but maybe I'll talk about that in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.